Back by no demand whatsoever. It's Megazord Radio. It's the show where we rank and recap episodes of the Power Rangers children's television franchise. I am your host, Riely, of course, joined by the wonderful, the beautiful, the British Nightster.
Hey again, guys, and welcome back. We return.
We're back. Took like a month off because I'm forgetful and Nightster is bad at reminding me of things.
Yeah,
We had such a good streak going. Like the like sinking in my stomach I felt when I realized that I had fucked that up. And I was like, "What about this day 2 days from now?" And you're like, "That's what I'm leaving." And I'm like,
yeah. I kind of fucked that one up with the timing.
That's okay. Happens to the best of us, Nightster.
Yeah,
But today we are here to talk about some more Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We are so damn close to the end of season one. Next week is the last set, actually.
it is. It's the last two episodes
So
next
this is the
week.
this is the penultimate installment of season one
Yeah,
episode coverage.
exciting.
All right. So the first of our set today is Enter the Lizzinator, which aired May 6th, 1994. Written by Stuart St. John, directed by Worth Keeter. The Keat is here for us. And here we go. We're ready to get rolling. So we start off at the youth center, as we often do. There's some kids trying out for cheerleading, one of which is Kimberly's cousin Kelly, who looks familiar, but probably just from this episode. I'm making sure she isn't in anything else. No, I don't know why I thought she had already been in the show, but yeah, she's auditioning for cheerleading, and she's practicing, and she's not quite getting it. And Kelly's like, I can't fucking do this shit. And she goes over to Kimberly and Tommy, who are watching. And she's like, I can't do it. And Kim's like, come on, I'll show you again. We can get it. And she shows her the cheer, and Kelly tries to replicate it and fucks it up. And she's like, I'll never be as good of a cheerleader as you, Kimberly. Which is probably correct, but she can get pretty close, I'm sure. Uh, but so she storms out or whatever. Classic. The kid is having a bad time, and the Power Rangers have to help them plot. And then we go to the moon, and Rita's like, "I need a cheerleader," and so she decides she's gonna kidnap the shitty one for some reason.
Which is such a weird plot. Like, nothing really becomes of this apart from the comedic thing between, like, Squat and Babu.
Which is just
Which,
beyond absurd. Like, I guess I should expect, first of all, Lunk and Babu. So excuse me, but uh, like I guess I should expect anything from Lunk and Babu. But like, you think they'd be like, wait, this cheer is against Rita. What are we doing? At some point,
yeah, but I guess I just don't really understand why this was a plot in the first place, apart from, oh yeah, this is more family building.
it would make more sense if they literally did the trope that we complained about, where it's like Kimberly likes her cousin. Hey, I'll kidnap her then. That would make more sense than Rita wants a cheerleader for some reason.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
But so they gotta kidnap. They gotta kidnap Kelly to distract. Okay, so they're kidnapping Kelly to distract the Rangers. I guess is part of it. Uh, and then Finster makes the Lizzinator so that he can destroy the world while the Rangers are distracted. The Lizzinator, who is a blatant Terminator reference that I somehow did not understand until Nightster pointed it out to me later.
Yeah, He's got the voice. He makes the reference. It's the same kind of name.
I should have known for sure, but I was not paying attention well enough, I guess. So we cut to the youth center where the main 5 Power Rangers walk in, and then Ernie shows up, and I'm like, "Oh, those." He's like, "Oh, those kids that do slave labor for me. I'm so glad to see you. I need somebody to deliver this." And he pulls out like a package of some sort, and Jason agrees to do that. So the rest head inside, meet with Kimberly and Tommy. And Tommy's like, "Kelly's doing great, and Kim's helping." And Kelly's like, "I don't think I'm good." And she runs away. So Tommy and Kimberly have to follow her. And they have the classic like she's sad on the swing, Kimberly sits on the other swing. They do a pep talk where she's like, "I also had to do it over and over again before I knew it. That's how it works." And so she's like, "You got to believe in yourself, blah blah blah. You can do it too." Classic Power Rangers pep talk speech. Not a lot. This episode is like densely packed in the way that like not a lot. It's like very easy to describe. I feel like I've already burned through 10 minutes of the episode in 7 minutes of this podcast.
Yeah,
But
if that.
yeah. So we go to the moon again. Squat and Lunk and Babu. I'm breaking my own kayfabe. They're looking through the telescope, and they see Kelly. And Rita's like, "Go down there, get him." And is it this or next episode where they're like, "Hey, shouldn't you send somebody smarter for this?" And Rita's like, "Let the putties do the thinking."
I think it's this episode.
Yeah. Why does she send Squat and Babu? Send Goldar or Scorpina. Send Scorpina. She's the
Yeah,
only competent one in the room. Send Scorpina.
we don't get nearly enough of her. Like, I know it's
Yeah.
a whole like footage thing, but still, just have the outfit and get someone that looks a little bit like her
Well, they
for
did
new
that for
footage.
season 2, and then she immediately quit the show, and they were like, "Fuck it, we're done. No more Scorpina."
Yeah, which
There's one.
sucks.
Scorpina gets to meet the new cast once, and then that's her last appearance ever.
Which sucks because she's a really good character, but we just don't
Yeah,
get to see her much.
it's unfortunate. But so Squat and Babu and the Putties head to the park. Kib and Tommy are fighting them. They play my favorite fight song here, but they don't play like the beginning part. They only play like the chorus. It's "We Need a Hero." I love that song, but the intro is kind of necessary, so it kind of got butchered here at its first appearance, but still pretty cool. I think it was its first appearance. I don't think they played "We Need a Hero" yet until now. We keep dreaming of a time where good is all that we can find. We need a, we need a hero.
I'm not quite good at remembering songs, and I saw the episodes a few days ago, so my memory on this isn't the best. But
I mean, it's
the
a Ron
fights and the
Wasserman
music,
fight song. You know it's gonna be good.
yeah, the fights and music are just top tier.
I still can't believe the biggest revelation from this rewatch for this podcast has been that they did not introduce that fight music until like the second half of season 1, or like the post the like Ju 2 era of season 1. Like I was not aware of that. I thought they were there from the beginning.
Yeah, that took a while, but
Uh
we
good.
got there, and I'm glad we did because they fucking rock.
Yeah, they slap. So yeah, Kim Tommy fight the putties. But Squat and Babu take Kelly, and they don't really try to stop them. They see them taking her, and they're like, "No, Kelly!" But nobody like tries to stop them. Like that was the moment for like Tommy does like a flying kick at fucking Lunk, and they're like, "Gotta go," and they teleport away before he hits them. Like somebody should have tried something.
Yeah. But
Instead, they just watch her get abducted.
for some reason.
So Kelly's gone now. Tom and Kimberly. Tom? We are way off from Tom. Tommy and Kimberly return to the youth center. They tell the other Power Rangers about it, so they go to the command center. Fucking yawning, bro. We cut to downtown Angel Grove. All the Rangers besides Jason, by the way, because Jason's delivering that package for Ernie. And we cut to Jason in downtown Angel Grove. But then the Lizzinator shows up. So he's got to morph and fight the Lizzinator all by himself. And then he gets his ass kicked, as
Yep.
as is to be expected. We go to the command center. Jason goes there. Jason escapes the command center. The other Rangers show up there, and they're like, "Kelly got kidnapped," and Jason's like, "I got attacked by a lizard man," and Zordon is like, "Lizzinator's really strong and stuff." Uh, Even like, so Tommy's coming. They do the usual rigmarole of, "What about your powers?" And he's like, "I gotta use them." And then Zordon's like, even with all of you, you might fuck it up still, because Lizzinator's got like super armor. So good luck. So they go to do their best and defeat Lizzinator. They arrive, there's putties that they fight.
Yep.
Um However, what the fuck does this mean? However, here's a quote from Ranger Wiki that I need to try to interpret here. I need your assistance. However, Jason tries to stop the Lizzinator from attacking a car, then deals a putty that can drive. Was there a putty that could drive? And what do they mean? Was it supposed to be steals?
How do you how do you forget that scene? That's one of the funniest moments.
Yes,
It
yeah,
was
you know what?
like there was a putty in a car, and Jason was like, can putties even drive? And then he runs towards the car and then like runs on it and jumps off, and he's like, guess they can.
Wait, yeah. Like, can putties even drive? Let's do it. Anyway,
Do it.
uh, so yeah, Jason tries to fight the Lizzinator again. He's overpowered. And then big damn hero Tommy shows up, and he's like, "I got this." And Jason's like, "No, what about your powers?" And he's like, "I'm the Green Ranger, and they're playing my theme music, which means I'm gonna win." And he fights the Lizzinator. Meanwhile, we go to the cave. Squat and Babu are talking about how they love Rita, and Rita's gonna give them an award for being awesome. And Kelly's like, "Oh no, it's hopeless. But wait, Kimberly said to never give up. So I'm not gonna give up." And she's like, "I'll teach you how to do a cheer, two monsters." And they're like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So we cut to Tommy versus Lizzinator. Tommy does in fact defeat the Lizzinator. Not he doesn't kill him, but it's the point where it's stalemated and Lizzinator's losing. And Rita, of course, throws her magic wand. I don't remember if it was this episode or the next, but in one of these she just says wand. She's not put the magic part in front of it.
Oh, I can't remember.
She's like, "Wand, make my monster grow," and it's like that's not the line. You can be talking
He
about any
didn't
sort of wand.
say.
You gotta specify that it's magic. Otherwise, we're gonna think you're talking about your unmentionables in your desk drawer.
Yo, I mean, do we want to think about what kinds she's got in her closet?
If we're thinking about movie Rita, but not this one.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, so Lizzinator grows. Tommy summons the Dragon Zord. They fight. Eventually, the other Rangers join in after the Dragon Zord gets its big, cool moment to fight the Lizzinator on its own. They call the Dinosaurs. They form the Megazord. Megazord and Dragon Zord are fighting Lizzinator. Then we go back to the cave where they're doing Rita, she's our leader, but the Power Rangers always beat her. Rita, beat her, cheer. I'm surprised I remembered the whole thing, but I did. So they're teaching her. She's teaching Squat and Babu the cheer, Luck and Babu the cheer. But they get all tired, which is all part of the plan. Then we go back to the Zords. They can't fight Lizzinator, so they call Titanus and do the Ultra Zord, and that in fact can fight the Lizzinator and kill him. So Lizzinator is dead.
Yep.
Why
So
don't they?
more
I
ultras.
guess never escalate a battle unless Rita forces you to. I guess I just answered my own question because I was like, why don't they just use the Ultra Zord every time? It's
Yeah.
like always
Uh,
the answer. Like, oh no, the monster's too strong. Better use the Ultra Zord. Dead. This
I mean, it's a really cool Zord, though.
is a pretty damn cool sword. But so yeah, Liznator's dead. Kelly escapes the cave. The Rangers go to meet her. And she's like, "Oh my god, the Power Rangers!" Or wait, are they unmorphed? Is she like, "Oh my god, Kimberly and her friends"?
They're morphed. I remember that.
Okay, so oh my god, the Power Rangers. And then we go back to the youth center. Kelly's more confident thanks to the fact that she recently killed a monster. She didn't kill a monster, but she she outsmarted two monsters. Um, so she's gonna do it. And just then we get our obligatory contractual Bulk and Skull appearance, where they walk in. There had to have been a cut scene, right? Because they're talking like they're already like familiar with Kelly's situation. Like they're speaking as if there was a previous scene in which Bulk and Skull encountered this Kelly situation. We're like, ha, she sucks. But that did not happen. But we get this scene where they're like, she's never gonna get in. I'm gonna do a cheer now to show that I'm better. I'm even better than you. And then he tries to do a cheer about how cool he is or whatever. And then he rips his pants. So Skull gets him out of there. And that's your contractual appearance of Bulk and Skull for the episode. And then, of course, Kelly does a tryout, and because it's a kid show, make a scene. She makes the team. I mean, and that's the scene, and that's the episode. You had the doc
Mhm.
up. You're on doc duty now. Remember, I know it's been a minute.
Oh, yep. Let me grab the document real quick. Uh, MR Season 1. There it is. Okay.
Okay, so favorite character, Nightster.
I think I've got to give it to Lizzinator because of how funny he was.
That's fair. Lizzinator is a good monster. I'm gonna give it to Tommy. Uh, I flirted with giving it to Kimberly as well. But like, I love how Tommy was just like by her side through this whole teaching her cousin how to cheerlead thing. And then of course there's the big damn hero moment during the Lizzinator fight where he fucking shows up and mogs the Lizzinator after he's been whipping the Power Rangers for fucking 5 minutes. That was pretty sick. And of course, he had a great performance in the putty fight, as he always does in every Unmorphed fight, because Jason David Frank is a fucking martial arts beast. So I'm gonna go Tommy.
Completely fair. Yeah.
What about favorite scene, Nightster? Or no? Yes, yes, that is one of the questions. Favorite scene.
I've got something. Favorite scene. I'm actually going to give it to again a funny moment with Jason just running on the car. Oh, I guess I can drive.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I'm gonna give it to the little Bulk and Skull scene. Just because like they weren't the focus of the episode, but like they're like, hey, remember your friends Bulk and Skull? And I'm like, yes, I do. And then Bulk rips his pants, and it's funny. So I'm gonna give it to
Yeah.
that today. I wasn't that thrilled about the action of this episode, besides when Tommy was involved. But now we've got to rank it, and now I have to pull up the document because I have to remember where things are ranked. I probably should have done that already, but I'm a silly head.
Oh, there's ellipses in the episode names.
Enter the
Lizzinator.
Lizzinator.
So it isn't just enter the Lizzinator, it's enter the Lizzinator.
What happened in foul play?
What, just
Was
foul
that
play or foul play in the sky?
foul play? Was that Chunky Chicken? No, Chunky Chicken was foul play of the sky, I think.
That was Zach with magic. Hexter was the monster for that one.
Hexter?
Oh,
Paxter. Yeah, okay.
oh yeah, because Zach had the like balloons and he had a ball in one of them, and he got the
Oh
monster to flip
yeah,
that one and
yes,
got
yeah,
the
yeah,
ball
yeah,
stuck.
yeah. I think this is probably better than that, but not as good as Plague of the Mantis.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay, so coming in at the new number 24 is going to be Enter the Lizzinator.
And then I go speed run.
While you're doing that, I will get the next episode queued up.
38, 39, 40, 1, 2. No, not that. 43.
This episode, I swear this episode, some obscure listing of this episode, it's called Football Season. But at some point when I was a kid, there had to have been some like streaming platform or like Wikipedia article that just listed this episode's name as Football. Because for some reason, I remember this episode just being called Football, but it's called Football Season. It aired on May 9th, 1994. Written by Cheryl Saban, directed by Terrence H. Winkless, the Wink himself. And here we go.
Here we go.
So, guys, football tryouts happening. They're doing football. Jason's got a football. He goes up to Tommy and he's like, I'm psyched about football. Are you going to do a football? And Tommy's like, yeah, but I haven't really played football. So, like, I'm worried I'm not going to make it in. Even though I'm an athletic god who can do anything. There's some commotion. Bulk and Skull are causing it, of course. Bulk's all dressed up in football garb. Skull has a sack, assumedly with football gear. Jason and Tommy are laughing, but Bulk's like, I'm going to be the most valuable player. Which, spoiler alert, that was kind of surprising. Bulk makes the team. I think
Yeah,
this
I
might be
was
the
not
first time
expecting
that Bulk and Skull are like, we're going to do something today, and they actually did it.
Yeah, I was not expecting them to actually make the cut.
But they're doing epic football moves. They're tossing the football around. Bulk goes to tackle Skull, but then just at the last minute, here comes Mr. Kaplan. Can you believe it, folks? So he gets tackled instead, and he's like, "No roughhousing in the hall. I'm Mr. Kaplan." So they get detention for a week, and that's the end of Bulk and Skull. Jason and Tommy have a quick laugh, but then they go back to being serious. And Tommy's like, even Bulk has more experience than me. And Jason's like, don't worry, Tommy. If you put half the amount of fucking concentration you do in karate, you got this, bro. Thanks, bro. They say bro a lot.
I mean, it's a 90s show about, teens and school, so
I
to
don't
be
know,
expected.
bro. You could do it, bro. Thanks, bro. No problem, bro.
You got a broski.
So we go to the moon. Lunk has been watching a football game, and he's like, "Football looks fun." And Rita's like, Rita says, "Fun? Who wants that?" And Babu like snidely remarks, "Certainly not you," which he somehow doesn't get turned into a fucking frog for.
Yeah, that's insane.
So Lunk is like, "But you can beat them at their own game." And Goldar's like, "Put the Rhino Blasters with the putties. It'll be the best football team ever." Um, and Rita's like, "I want a smash down." And Lunk's like, "You mean touchdown?" And she's like, "Whatever." Silly interactions on the moon.
Yeah. But we
And
love it though,
then,
because it's funny.
for sure. So we cut to Tommy brooding at the youth center about football tryouts. Kim and Trini come in, and they're like, "What's wrong? You seem so like worried about something." "I'm not even tired. Why am I yawning every 2 fucking seconds?" "I'm wide awake. I'm so mad at my physiology that I can't pay attention." So he's like, "Yeah, just I'm thinking about tryouts." And Kim's like, "Tommy, you're a fucking super athlete. You're cool. You're gonna do it." And he's like, "I'm only good at karate." And Trini's like, "That's awesome on its own. Like even if you don't do a football,
Do a
and then
football.
even if you don't do a sports." And then Ernie walks in. He's like, "Guys, you're not gonna believe this. I was an all-star fullbacker when I was in college." And Tommy's like, "Oh my gosh, wow. Would you help me train?" And Ernie's like, "Yeah, I'll do that because I'm Ernie and I'm the best guy, except for when I use child labor to deliver my packages. Other than that, I'm a pretty good guy."
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Bulk and Skull walk in. He's got a book about ballet. Or no, he's got a book about football that I guess involves ballet. And Bulk comes in with a tutu, and he's like, "I'm not doing this." And Skull's like, "You gotta do ballet because it teaches you grace and agility, and that's part of it." And Ernie's like, "Yeah, all the pros do it. It makes you light on your feet." So Bulk has to reluctantly do some ballet, but of course he falls over because that's what Bulk does, and that's fun.
Yeah.
So Kim's like, "We're gonna go play some flag football with the guys. You should come along, Tommy. Should be good practice." And Tommy's like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay here and work with Ernie." So they leave without him. Kim wishes Tommy luck. Ernie starts teaching. Tommy doesn't have a lot of confidence though, but Ernie's like, "You got this. Just keep trying." And Billy in the park, and they're gonna do a football game. We go back to Tommy, who a they really make Tommy out to be like a idiot. I guess maybe it's like muscle memory because of like intense training. Maybe that's the explanation. But Ernie's like, "Okay, here's this tackle dummy. Go ahead and tackle it." And he fucking flying kicks it.
Yeah. Hold on.
He's like, "Oh,
I'm turning
sorry,
off my phone as
karate."
well. I gotta go for a bit.
Okay. Mute yourself first.
Is that how you greet me?
Are you gonna be banging on my door?
There we go. Now the people can hear you again.
There we go.
I had to server mute Nightster because he didn't mute himself.
Yeah, I got
I
distracted.
had to cut out some lady being like, "Is that the way you greet me, governor?"
Some lady, that's my sister.
Okay. Anyway, okay. So yeah, Tommy flying kicks the dummy because he's so karate brained that he doesn't understand the concept of a tackle, I guess. So that's pretty funny. So and then he tackles it again, but he's like, I doubt myself. And Ernie's like, "You gotta stop doubting yourself." Then we go to detention, and there's some Bulk and Skull ballet shenanigans, classic slapstick style. Not much of note to describe in detail, but Bulk tries to do some ballet. He does it poorly. We go to the Rangers, sans Tommy. They're doing their football game. And then the putties show up. And they start beating them up. And then eventually they win. But then Zordon calls them right away, and he's like, "You gotta come to the command center. There's some shit going on." So they get to the command center, and Zordon has them observe the viewing globe. And there's Rhino Blaster. He's a big rhino man. Really not much to him. He's a big rhino man. He's in a football team with putties. And Billy and Jason are like, "We're strong enough to get him." So the Rangers morph. They go to fight Rhino Blaster and the putties. Somehow the putties like beat up the Power Rangers and don't get murdered immediately like they usually do. That's interesting. And then Rhino Blaster sends them to the multi-dimensional vortex. Yet another fucking multiple dimensions at the same time.
Oh yeah, because it's not just one dimension.
It's the multi-dimensional vortex.
The vortex of dimensions. Dimensionception.
Which we learned more about on the Mighty Morphin Minute. And by learn more about, I mean learned the things we learned that. I guess eventually they just ran out of ideas for the Mighty Morphin Minute. Because like I've seen the ones that are attached to early episodes where they're like actually explaining lore. Like here's what the morphing grid is. And it's like, okay, that's some interesting information, I guess. But now, these last two episodes, it's literally just like the plot of the episode you just watched is the Mighty Morphin Minute. Like the Lizzinator one is like, it's the Lizzinator. He's got real strong armor, and the Power Rangers need to work hard to defeat him. And then for the Rhino Blaster one, it's like the multi-dimensional vortex. It's a place that Rhino Blaster could send you, and the only way to get out is the way that they got out in the episode you just watched.
You have to have
the
a dragon
Mighty
dagger.
Morphin Minute.
That's a requirement. Is you need the dragon dagger, otherwise you
Yes.
can't get out.
If Zordon had not re-energized Tommy, then you would die in this episode.
That would have been the end of the Rangers.
So they're trapped, and that's bad. They can't communicate or teleport. They're just stuck.
They are indeed.
So Zordon and Alpha see this. They contact Tommy. They make it look like maybe he's not going to notice because it's in his backpack. But then he immediately picks up his backpack and sees it once Ernie walks away. So he goes off. He teleports to the command center. Zordon's like, Rhino Blaster's like strong as shit, bro. Like, you gotta help. But also your powers are going to get weaker. So, like, be careful. And Tommy's like, got you. Type shit. And he morphs.
Yeah.
So he shows up. He trucks all the putties that were beating up 5 Power Rangers a minute ago. And Rhino Blaster. But then Rita makes her monster grow. Tommy summons the Dragon Zord. Rhino Blaster's beating up the Dragon Zord. And then we go to the command center where they've been trying to figure out how to free the other Rangers. And they're like, okay, so the only way to free the other Rangers is if they're sent like a weapon. Because I guess they don't have their own weapons because they weren't like because they like on them at the time. So they've been like disabled. But if you send a weapon in there, it works, I guess. So it's like you got to send him the Dragon Dagger. So he has to like bait Rhino Blaster. Which, okay. Is there multiple? I guess maybe there is multiple multi-dimensional vortexes. But the like bit that Tommy goes for is like, I give up, I surrender. And then Rhino Blaster's like, good. And then Tommy's like, can't you let me spend my last few moments with my friends? And Rhino Blaster says, well, since you asked so nicely, no. But then he does the thing that would send him to the dimension with his friends. In theory. I don't understand.
I thought Rhino Blaster said something like he'd do it because he's not without like and not without some kind of mercy or something similar to
Yeah,
that.
he says, I think I remember the line exactly now. He says, "Well, since I'm such a nice guy, no." But then he does the thing, and Tommy throws the dagger in. The Rangers get freed. Tommy saves the day once again. Another day saved by Tommy Oliver and his amazing friends, the other Power Rangers. So Tommy actually gets up close and personal now because he had to throw the Dragon Dagger into Rhino Blaster. So he's like, okay, so I still need to be able to operate Dragon Zord, so I'm getting in that cockpit. And for like one of 3 times ever, we see him in the cockpit.
Yeah.
So he gets in the cockpit, keeps fighting Rhino Blaster, but eventually he gets overpowered and gets ejected. But then the other Rangers show up with the Megazord. They form the Mega Dragon Zord. Not even the Ultra Zord. Rhino Blaster doesn't get the respect of Titanus being involved. It's just the Mega Dragon Zord. And they kill him. And of course, Rita has a headache again. Because that's how it
Of
works.
course.
Then we go to the youth center for all the announcements of everybody who made the football team. There's some randos, but there's also Jason and Zach and Billy all made the team. Billy's weird. I wouldn't peg Billy for a footballer.
Nah, like he's a nerd, not a jock.
If anything, Billy would be like the water boy.
I mean, yeah, Billy is like strong and athletic now that he's a ranger, but wouldn't he want to keep that nerd image in school so he doesn't like risk people like I'm figuring him out and then I'm figuring the other rangers out because that's who he spends most of his time with.
Well, I don't think it goes that deep because like everybody knows he's like training in karate with Jason. So like he could get fit that way. I don't think they're gonna immediately jump to he's a Power Ranger.
Yeah. Even though I don't get how people don't see it.
Well, yeah,
It's always
the fact that it's a group of 5 to 6 friends, all wearing the colors of the Power Rangers, all
Yeah,
amazing
exactly.
athletes, and also the nicest people you've ever met in your lives. Like, yeah.
And they always seem to disappear when the Rangers show up.
And they go into they just step into a corner and yell, "It's morphing time!" in the youth center with everybody there.
And they step around the corner and suddenly they're nowhere, or they show up from places they shouldn't have been able to get to without being seen in the first place. Like, how do you not figure it out?
I've heard fan theories that like everybody just knows, but like they don't want to they don't want to upset the Power Rangers by letting them know they're bad at keeping their identities secret, so they all just go along with it.
Maybe.
Anyway, so Jason, Zach, and Billy are on the team. So are a bunch of randos, and that seems to be it. And Kim and Trini are like, "Oh, Tommy didn't make it," but then Mr. Kaplan drops a paper and he realizes that he has a different, or somebody drops a paper. He realizes there's a second list of names, which I already kind of, I had a keen enough eye to get something spoiled for me because I did see the name Bulk on the paper when he dropped it. So I knew that was coming. So he picks up the paper and he's like, okay, there's a couple more. Bulk. And Bulk comes out with his tutu and falls on the floor again. And then their star quarterback, number 1 most important position on a football team. How did they forget to announce the quarterback?
Yeah, like, you think Mr. Kaplan would know who's on that list?
Yeah, also they're
announcing them?
behind the curtain in football suits, so they have to already know they made the team. And unless Mr. Kaplan made everyone who tried out put on a football uniform and sit backstage, which would be very cruel, he should already know.
Oh, well, it doesn't show Tommy not knowing. It shows the others not knowing. But
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the fact that
From
Mr.
thingy.
Kaplan is like forgetting to announce this shit when he's already back there and presumably everybody already understands, like, okay, you guys are the football team. Now I'm going to introduce you. And then Kaplan reads the names, and his fucking quarterback is missing, and he's like, "Oh, that must be all the names." So
Yeah,
anyway,
but
yeah,
like
go ahead.
the main thing um that I don't get is unless someone else arranged the names to give to Kaplan, how did he read what he's even just look at the team that's assembled in front of him and miss not only his main quarterback, but also the only person in the team that wears a fucking tutu.
I think you'd remember when you were backstage and you saw Bulk in a fucking tutu. That's Bulk's back there in a tutu.
Exactly.
But anyway, Tommy's the new star quarterback. Everybody celebrates. Ba 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 da ba 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 ba, and that's football, which is forever what this episode will be called to me in my heart. So Nightster, what's your favorite character in this one?
As much as I really wanted to give it to Ernie for the training bits, there's just so much Tommy that I can't not say him.
You see, I
It's
had
got
the opposite, where Tommy did some dope shit in this episode, but also like I think his like emotional crucible was kind of goofy. Like there was no reason he should have been like that not confident about doing a football. Like he did some cool stuff as the Green Ranger, obviously, but like Ernie is such a G for stepping in and helping him and fucking coaching it free of charge, just out of the blue. He's got a fucking juice bar to run, and he agrees to spend his time to train Tommy and mold him into the star quarterback of the Angel Grove football team. I gotta give it to Ernie.
absolutely fair. And I'm glad you did, because it means that he got some rep
Is
in
this
this
the first
ranking.
time either of us has picked Ernie?
Let me check. Can you do that? And then find and document Ernie. Actually, he comes up twice. You picked him in Something Fishy, and
Oh,
Crow
okay, yeah.
picked him in Food Fight.
Ah, okay. But
So I'm the only one out of all three of us who's never given it to Ernie.
wow, Ernie hater, Nightster.
I'm not an Ernie hater. I love Ernie. He's amazing.
I mean, you got 3 more seasons of Ernie to give it to Ernie. He's gonna be around for a while.
Yay! I love Ernie.
He disappears after Zeo for no apparent reason, but he's there until the end of Zeo. Actually, I think they do explain that he's like a. They say he's like a missionary and he's like building a bridge in Africa or some shit.
I still
Like
can't believe
W
they
Ernie.
they tried to replace Ernie in freaking Megaforce of all seasons with
I mean, they weren't trying. I feel like that was more of a reference than like a recast. Like people try to claim that it's supposed to be the same Ernie. It's obviously not. He's a foreign man with a foreign accent. Like they're just doing a reference. I don't mind. I kind of liked Ernie. He was probably one of my favorite characters in Megaforce, which is not saying much, but
I don't remember too much about him, but I
yeah,
just
he
find it
wasn't that
funny how
important. But he seemed like a fun, silly guy. Whenever Ernie was there, I was like, oh, I like the new Ernie. He's cool.
yeah.
Rest in peace, Richard Janelle. They might have gotten him back if he hadn't tragically passed in '09, I think, was when he passed.
Uh, Let me do a quick Google. 2008.
2008. Okay, I was a year off.
Yeah. At 47, he was really young.
Yeah, I think he had some heart complication or something. Too many
Uh,
Pamangos, I heard.
yeah, heart attack. Panago.
We have fun here, but genuinely, rest in peace, Richard Janelle. He seemed like a pretty good
Definitely.
guy.
He seemed like the
But
kind of person you'd want as a friend.
for sure. But what was your favorite scene in this episode?
Favorite scene? Honestly, I might have to give it to the unmorphed party fight.
That is
Not gonna
fair.
lie.
That's a pretty good. I'm giving it once again. I'm giving it to a joke, but it's not Bulk and Skull this time. I am gonna give it to Tommy flying kicking the tackle Tommy because
That was
it's
funny.
so funny.
Uh,
And then ranking it. Let's see. Let's take a little look-see at the list. I think this one kind of is decently low for me. I don't know if you agree with that. Like, not. I mean, most of these episodes are good until you get to like the bottom. But like, I don't think this one was nothing special. I'd say my summation is better than Grumblebee, not as good as Itsy Bitsy Spider. I don't know how you feel about that.
uh, let me just check.
Grumblebee is the
Grumble-
one where Billy gets a bee and he freaks out about it, and then they fight a bee. And then Itsy Bitsy Spider is the one where Zach has to overcome his fear of bugs.
Yeah. Why the hell is the Mantis episode showing up so much when typing in Grumblebee?
Good question.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
All right, so coming in at the new number 35 football season. And that's it for this episode. Wow. Next week we finish season 1. And we don't even have to wait that long because we recorded this one so late.
Yep.
Get ready for an anticlimactic finale, folks, because we're covering what are the two? I forget what 59 is. 59 is Mighty Morphin Mutants, which I know you like.
Yeah, I'm gonna love that recap. I'm so
And then
hyped.
the season finale is an oyster stew, which is a Zach and Angela episode.
Season 1 ends on Zach and Angela. What?
Yes. And then after they dedicate the season finale to the Zach and Angela relationship, it is also the final appearance of Angela.
Man, she went out with a bang.
Yep, she got the season finale all to herself. So tune in next time for Mighty Morphin Mutants and an Oyster Stew. Nightster, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me on my solo channel, Nightster, where I am hoping to record and upload some more gaming stuff in the future. Or you can catch me, Riely, and some other friends on our collaborative channel, Toku Thrill, where we talk about Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, anything tokusatsu. And where can they find you?
If you go to linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe, that's RIELY Cinematic Universe. There's all sorts of links to podcasts, my YouTube channel, all sorts of content for your eyes and your ears. It's pretty cool. It's good stuff. It's a huge link. It's the best link. So go there and check out all my stuff. So that's it. I almost forgot I'm doing the intro for some reason. Or the outro. The intro already happened 55 minutes ago.
Intro.
So, folks, until next time, we're morphin' out of here. It's morphin' time.